I'm going to answer the question today as quickly as I possibly can. Why am I a believer in God? And I'm not going to do so with telling you anecdotal evidence about myself and the things in my life that I've went through, the times I've asked God for help, the things I've just felt in my heart, the faith that I have. I'm not going to go down that route, although there's definitely something there. I obviously have a relationship, I believe, with God through Jesus, but I'm not going to go down that route. This is about what evidence do I have? Now, first of all, let's be clear. Nobody has direct evidence to prove God exists or to prove He doesn't exist, okay? So the way I'm going to categorize this is there's three kinds of evidence. There's direct evidence, supporting evidence, and anecdotal evidence. Anecdotal evidence is simply my testimony, what I believe, what I've experienced, what I've seen. Supporting evidence is evidence that definitely shows you something, it definitely means something, it's definitely valid, but it definitely doesn't prove anything beyond a shadow of a doubt. Only direct evidence would do that. That would be something that's unequivocal, that's repeatable in a laboratory again and again and again, okay? And when it comes to, does God exist, does God not exist, did God create the universe, or did He not create the universe, there's no way to do that. And I'll be honest with you, this is a joke and a hypothetical, but if God spoke to me and said, I'm going to come down and I'm going to let you look upon me, and I want you to get your cell phone out and record the whole thing and then put it on the internet for the whole world to see, and I'm going to reveal myself to the whole world, nobody would believe it. I would believe it because I'd be right there. And if there was anyone else with me, they might believe it. But nobody watching that via the internet would believe it. They would think it was Photoshopped or AI or something, okay? No one's going to believe that. So even if God revealed Himself, no one's going to believe it except for the people who were there at the time. There's a lot of different theories of how this universe came to be, how it came to be from when it began to when it is today, and then the planet, and then our species and everything else. Evolution, we have the adaptation evolution that we all know is true. Things do adapt. And then we have this dramatic evolution where things completely change over time into something totally different. And we definitely disagree on that. But I want to focus on the beginning, the origin of the universe. The origin of the universe. Anyone who's not crazy is going to say, we don't know the origin of the universe. There's very strong supporting evidence that the universe did have a beginning, and that the universe is continually expanding, and we can measure the expansion, and assuming a consistent rate of expansion, you can reverse that back down to a beginning. And a lot of people say that's between like 14.5 billion years or something like that. That's just a theory. It's not direct evidence, but it's very strong supporting evidence. But how we went from the Big Bang to a planet like Earth that's fine-tuned just perfectly, and all these things happen just perfectly, no matter how much time that you want to put on it, the odds of it happening to get to where we have even multi-celled organisms is a stretch that we have no idea how that's possible. So the origin of the universe, nobody knows, and in my opinion, it's unknowable. There's really four camps. There's atheist, agnostic, deist, and theist. The atheist says, I don't believe in God or anything supernatural. I believe in a natural material existence. They don't know all the answers, but it came from a natural material existence, not from some kind of supernatural God. An agnostic says, I don't know. And we'll just leave it there. I don't know. They don't know if there's a God because they can't prove it. And they're just going to focus on the things that they can prove and the things that they know, all right? And so the answer to the origin of the universe, I don't know. The deist does believe in some kind of supernatural, godlike creation, or creator that created all things and then kind of left us to our own devices. And he doesn't watch over us. And they're not concerned, he or she, they, whatever, is not concerned with what's happening to us in this created universe. And then the theist, which I'm a theist, believes that a godlike supernatural being did create all things, but does watch over us and is concerned with what's happening. Now, this next little bit that I'm going to go through makes atheists foaming at the mouth mad, and they want to, because I've debated them before. And so it always devolves into a semantic argument where we talk about what does belief and faith and evidence and proof actually mean, and you define it one way, I define it a different way. I'm not interested in a semantical argument. So I'm going to say what I believe, it's my opinion, and then I'm not interested in debating it. I'm always interested in debating what I'm saying, but not the semantical argument. Of those four things I just listed, theist, deist, agnostic, and atheist, three of which have a statement of faith attached. I don't believe in that God created all things. An agnostic says, I don't know. A deist says, I do believe a supernatural being created all things. A theist says, I do believe. None of it can be proven. None of it's knowable. So we have faith to take over, okay? Because remember, all four don't know. But three of the four have a faith element. Now, the atheist will get so mad and say, no, it's a lack of faith. It's not, I don't have a faith. And by faith, I don't mean like Christian faith, Jewish faith, Islam faith. I don't mean that. I mean a faith to believe in something that you can't see or prove, okay? That's the faith I'm talking about. A belief. I'm not an agnostic, obviously, but I do respect them because they're just being honest. I don't know. And that is my answer. I don't know. I can respect that. The deist and the theist are not pretending like they know. They're just simply saying, I don't know, but here's what I believe. And the atheist I respect the least because they say, I don't know, but I don't believe in God, but it's not faith. It's not faith. Yes, it is. You believe in a natural, materialistic origin of the universe without any way of explaining how that's possible. That requires faith. Which brings me to the next point. Three of the four, deist, theist, and atheist, all believe in a miracle. I'll call it the miracle of the origin of life. Whether it was a supernatural, godlike being that created all things and designed it and got it started, or you believe that it was material, non-supernatural, random chances over billions of years that brought all this to be, that's still a miracle. So either way, you're believing in a miracle. Now that will garner a lot of criticism right there, but I believe it wholeheartedly and I stand by it. Okay, so why do I believe in a supernatural being? Once again, I don't know. It's by faith that I believe this, but I'm not going to go down an anecdotal relationship with God that I have to try to prove that to you. I'm going to just simply use logic and reason. Now, I'm going to start off with man-made things, which I know is not an apples-to-apples comparison, but I'm going to get there. I'm sitting inside a house right now. I don't know the name of the person who built this house, but I know that there was an architect and a builder. And how do I know it? The building itself proves that there was a builder. Every watch I have, I know there was a watchmaker. Every painting I've ever seen, I know there was a painter. The watch proves there was a watchmaker. The painter proves there was a painter. They could come to me and say, look, there's a remote place in some rainforest somewhere that we're 99% sure has never been inhabited by a human being, nor has a human even stepped foot there. You're going to be the first human being to go there. And when you get there, we want you to chart it out, map it out, and kind of do some things for us on a scientific level, okay? And let's say I get there and I'm right in the heart of this place that supposedly, according to what I've been told and what I believe, no one's ever stepped foot before. And I see, some oil-based painting that's nailed to a tree. And it's a painting with a farmhouse and a fence and a rising sun and a mountain in the background. Now, obviously somebody has been here before me, and obviously they left that painting there, and that painting proves somebody painted it, and the very fact it's here proves somebody was here. Now that's a crude way of explaining it, but I just want to get that logic in your mind that These things prove they had a creator, and creation proves there's a creator. The mathematical odds and the amount of random chances that have to happen for nothing to become something is off the scale, okay? In the trillions of galaxies that we have, in the trillions of planets that we have, for everything being fine-tuned perfectly for life as we know it to exist is still unbelievably rare, okay? And it would take trillions of planets and billions of years just for this thing to even be rational that it could all come to being as it has on this planet. The fine-tuning is beyond comprehension. Once again, just like faith in God, it requires faith in a miracle, in a naturalistic, random chance miracle to believe it. So, like I said, supporting evidence says there was a beginning at the Big Bang. And so if time and space and all material things come back to a singular point and have a singular beginning, what got that started? You say, well, we don't know. Of course we don't know, but isn't it more logical to think someone designed that? When you look at the complexities of just the human eye, or especially the complex code of DNA, and just a couple little things were altered, it would just all fall apart and it wouldn't become what it's supposed to be. The fact that that was not designed by a designer is hard for me to understand. Many people have said it before, and I agree with them. I don't have the faith to be an atheist. So it's way more logical, and the supporting evidence, in my opinion, lends me to believe in a supernatural creator of everything we have, and it was designed by that supernatural creator. Can our minds fathom a person being eternal that's not within time, that created time and all things? No, we can't fathom it. But that would make sense if that person is outside of our space and time and we're within. We can only comprehend things that are within our space, time, and material existence. So it makes sense that we couldn't comprehend it. Once again, do I know that? No. But that to me is the most logical evidence we have. Now, what causes me to be a follower of Christ? And even before that, decide a theist form of God versus deist. Stay tuned for the next episode and I'll talk about that.